Good morning, everyone. So this is Kumar, and I hope it's a good morning for everyone. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and thank you all for spending your time and coming here to attend this session today. And here today, we wanted to introduce about the Azure Data Engineering offering from Talent Tech Solutions and Academy of Data. So just wanted to tell you, so Talent Tech Solution is our parent company, which is based out of Hyderabad. And again, Academy of Data is in Bangalore, so it's just a brandings and I'm the chief trainer for data side of it, data set of things. Okay, and also wanted to add one logo here, which is that Databricks University Alliance partner. We're also part of the University Alliance partnership with Databricks as well. So about your trainer, my name is Kumar, and I'm the Databricks evangelist with 13 years of IT experience in data engineering, Azure, and Databricks, and also worked in IBM. A lot of larger organizations. So with an enterprise architect level of understanding of data. And I think, again, I was a trainer for a very long time with Associated Talent Tech Solution from the past 2.5 years. Previously, I also worked with Edureka, where I was a trainer for their talent and big data programs. And then I also was one of the initial trainers for their Azure data engineering course as well. So I'm the trainer for Azure, SQL, Python, and Databricks, especially in the Apache Spark areas, and also data governance as well. And I'll be helping you out throughout this course. And we also have another trainer, which is Venkat, a passionate engineer and solution architect with 12 years of experience in the data engineering side. And he designed complex data architecture solutions and successfully led a data engineering solution for eBay in UK, and then certified in cloud and data engineering technologies. And he's also a trainer for Azure Data Framework over the years too, from the last 3 years. And I think so the average experience levels was around 12 to 13 years is what your trainers are coming up. And we tried more than 800 data engineers till date through various platforms and our own platform, Talent Tech Solutions and Academy of Data together. All right, so just wanted to bring to your course about this course, what exactly you're going to get it. So you are going to work on Azure Cloud. That's the main thing here. So we'll work extensively on Azure Cloud, starting with understanding of what exactly cloud is all about, multi-clouds are about, and different types of clouds that are there in the market, and which is the best cloud. And we talk about Azure in specific. It all starts with, compute virtual machines, VPC, VNets in Azure Cloud, and storages, whatnot. You learn everything with hands-on experience. And you also work on the AZ-ended certifications successfully as well. We have all the students who has taken the course previously are all Azure certified who comes out. That's a general thing because we know how it exactly works and all people are able to do it really with flying colors. And then the other things which we will talk about, the important thing about the data engineering is all about extraction of data from varieties of sources, transformation, data using SQL and PySpark. So you can do a lot of things with SQL as well and PySpark, how they are different and how you can actually make it to work. And loading the data into relation databases or data lake. So you'll be working on what is a data warehouse, what is a data lake, what is the differences of it, how can you create your own data models, and you create your own fact tables, what are dimension tables. So we'll go with the basics to the details of it. Even if you are not coming from this segment of data, it is going to help you out. No, pretty sure it will help you out. And we'll also make sure that how you are going to run the data workloads on Azure Cloud using different ways. We have so if you see the important things about this course is all about Azure stack, on the cloud, because you are going to run your pipelines on Azure Cloud. We'll talk about the data workloads extensively on Azure Cloud through different tools. So to do that, right? So first you need to learn Python and Apache Spark as well. So don't worry if you're a non-programmer, we will take care of your basics as well. We have excellent materials that came up because this is almost, more than a 10th batch to be frank, which we have done so far. And we have a very good Python language material that came up. And we also have all the intro question sets that are related with Python. And we also go for Apache Spark. And once you run Apache Spark, so you'll be able to deliver large scale distributed computing specific data pipelines. And so, which means you have Python, Spark, and Databricks. Databricks is a service or host on Azure. So, which means you can actually run your workloads on Azure Cloud. And at the same time, some people really wanted to use Azure Data Factory, which is another tool, ETL tool. If you're coming from the ETL background, how can you switch into the Azure stack, right? So Azure Data Factory is also included in the course so that it becomes an easy way for also to create data pipelines, using just a drag and drop techniques. So that's the best part of this course. But again, This time we are introducing a new things. This is the first time which you're bringing to the market for Hyderabad and Bangalore together. So the first one, if you see the tech stacks, we already discussed about data engineering side, but I'm also talking to you about Azure Cloud here. Now, we are actually talking about, you recently know that OpenAI is part of this Azure Cloud integrations as well because Microsoft is invested on it. And now, so this AI is also something which is helpful. There are a lot of different use cases we can think of AI and all. Now, think of a recent acquisition that is happened, especially Air India. So Air India was actually previously government controlled, but now today, it is controlled by Tata Sons. Now, what exactly is the difference that it makes? So the simple business use cases that were running on Azure, right, is something which I wanted to bring today, at this point of time. So to understand what is the power of AI on what we are doing, because that's really important. Now we're talking about Azure Cloud. We talked about SQL. I think you already know what is a SQL, just a database. And then you talked about, learning Python, and then we talk about Apache Spark on Databricks. Now, what is Databricks and all? We'll definitely take a look at it. Now, ADF, and again, we are actually extracting data, transforming, and then loading. Now, when you say transformation, think of a small use case which I want to bring to your attention is, recently in Telangana, I mean, which we are all from Hyderabad. So there is a change in the name of the name boards of Telangana's, name boards of all of it. Maybe it was TA and it was changed to TG. Correct me if I'm wrong. So when these things are happening, right? So the data should be transformed. Now, if the data sets are huge, it's very tough. Now, for those, you have, Python and Apache Spark, or you can also do it with SQL. We can also do it with ADF. There are different ways we can do it. But for the larger data sets, if you have to do it, right? So Apache Spark is the best solution for all of them. Now, we'll go little internals, a few things, in the coming demo for sure. But to be frank, so I wanted to bring a generative case, with respect to the Air India use case, which I just mentioned before. So what happened with the Air India, right? So the Air India thing is, so they already have the data pipelines created already. The data is already coming. Now, a new CEO has come over, and then he wanted to find out which are the flights from India to Frankfurt or Air India flights to Frankfurt, which are delayed. Now, how do you actually handle these solutions? So you can actually type in a question. Everybody is familiar with ChatGPT. You might have asked a question. So which are the flights which are delayed? If you can ask, you should give an answer. Now, so which means it generative is just like, it is going to interpret your language, which you are giving it in English into a data pipe is already feeding the data set, and that data is something which you use for generative AI. Now, the advantage of this is you're not being replaced there, but you are actually adding value by using the generative AI thing. So it is never that generative AI is a replacement for humans for everything. So in fact, we have to get into more advanced levels so that can help our tech stacks to be more important and it helps the business to be robust. The CEO of the company doesn't know what exactly data pipeline is. He only wanted to type a question and he had to get an answer. Now you don't want to call someone and do it. Now, if a generative AI use case, a large language model can actually answer your use case, that's what he's looking for. So this is the best thing in which I can actually tell you as part of use cases, which can actually help us improvise our tech stack. And for the first time, I don't know whether other institutes does not do it. Talent Tech Solutions is bringing to you for the first time a generative AI use cases as part of the training for data engineering. So, but we don't want to rebrand this as data science and all because it's a very big journey. But we have to learn as a data engineer, what is really required on the generative AI things that are coming in the market or data science options that are coming in, so that we can have more visibility for our resume and also more understanding of how we can build proper data pipelines and also make sure that we can also contribute to the generative AI evolution today. All right. So let me talk about your role as a data engineer. I just gave a high-level use case. Now I'll come back. What is your role as a data engineer? You're going to design, build, and maintain data lakes and data warehouses. And I'll be going detail of data lakes and data warehouses in the future. But for now, so data warehouse is more about knowing all the historical information of what is happening in a business will be stored in a data warehouse, and a data pipeline should run every day to feed it. So if you wanted to understand the sales of an organization over time, data warehouse is the best way. Now, this is all with relational data. But if you say the new source of data, if somebody here, in our batch, Deepak is here. So Deepak is traveling. Okay. Now, there's always a data that is generating thanks to his GPS data because he has used Google Maps. Now, that kind of data should also be generated, which is having semi-structured. It is in JSON format. So that kind of support is done by data lakes. So, and also unstructured, even if it is not structured, semi-structured, unstructured data are also going to be with data lakes. So that's the best thing about your role as a data engineer. And again, you'll also perform tasks like data ingestion, transformation and sorting, and then loading. Okay. So, and you also provide data access to reporting and machine learning users. This is what I'm talking about. So we are going to work. So previously it's just about giving access. Now this is the first time we are going to learn on it, how we can build your own dashboard, how can also make sure that you can use machine learning use case as well. And this is something which we are bringing to you this time for the first time. And and we also run workloads in cloud infrastructure like Azure, AWS, and GCP. So the important thing of a data engineer is the data engineer can work on Azure to start with, but again, while you are actually transforming your journey towards a full-time data engineer, you should also think of how can my data pipelines can run work on three clouds, and how can I pull data from any kind of cloud. So all these things can be discussed as part of this course. And you'll also collaborate with business analysts, ML stakeholders to design data architecture. Now, we have an excellent course. I mean, even in Talent Tech Solutions, when we are giving talent training in the past, which is a beautiful ETL tool. So we have done it really well with data modeling understanding. And we are going to make sure that you also create a proper data model, and which data architecture use cases can also be solved as part of the training. And again, due to rapid growth of data, the role of data engineer has become increasingly important in the market, and your role is something which is the best in the market. And the fastest growing IT roles are not data science or something, it is data engineer. And I have seen people, with data science, who create a model and then after that they don't have any work and, they have to go for different projects or have to change the companies because there's no work there. But I see data engineers are the people, who are required all the time. Okay, because this is a new role. Now we are actually upgrading us from the ETL tools, which are drag and drops, to more with the understanding of the infrastructure, how to save the cost, how agile, our process can be, and how well we can establish and how lower we can cost. So these are the things that are coming as data engineer. It became a technical and also a functional role as well today. And that's the reason any company, even if it is a medium scale company, always have a data engineer. So which means no company will not operate without a data strategy. And that's what is going to come. And the fastest growing rates for any company is data engineers. And we wanted to talk about the median salary of data engineers. So if you see here, so I'm not talking about the highest, a median is in between. And I just, you can actually see there is little higher also, we can always see on the higher side. So even for 0 to 3 years of experience, so if you do really well, if you get certified and all, we always have seen, more than 6 lakhs package is something which is very common in the cross industry for data engineers. And if you can actually see here, the other thought process which we need to also think is, if you're an experienced engineer, right? So you can see a median ranges which are really higher than the current roles, or even if it's an equivalent, it's all median salaries. You can definitely expect more by working upon the model which we are actually going to share in the coming minutes. All right. So of course, everybody wanted to grow, and salary is one important thing for everyone. So I really wanted to put it. But one thing which I wanted to bring from Talent Tech Solutions, we are being a pioneer in the ETL side. We can tell you one thing is money or the salary is a byproduct of your learning, is what we have understood when we have seen hundreds of students going out of us and then seeing how they're successful. So just money is just a byproduct. Your learning and your contribution, your business thought process, and your excellence in keeping an understanding of how your management works is the key factors for success. So we'll also talk with you on those areas as well as part of the course. Don't think it's only about only data engineering. There are certain things in which you also have to understand a context if you're new. So because each of the architects who are actually working with you have an average salaries are very, very high. So they already know, how they have grown in that ladder, and they will definitely bring you some good expertise on these areas. And then, so this is very important, and this is the best thing. So when we started our courses 10 years back, we don't have so many logos and partnering organization for placements, but truly, we are bringing really the good things that are happening. So Techlegence is the new company that got placed, that our students have got placed. And Lumen Data is a new partner which came up, and already three people got interviewed and two people got almost shortlisted. And Kanini and Cellstat. And Cellstat, we had a very good AI company which has taken our students as well, thanks to the kind of Azure infrastructure understanding what our students have. And the others are like Test Platform, Alfred Analytics, and Deakin Technologies. So these are the partnering companies for the placement based on the need. The top four companies are the one recent companies which has taken, and the others are the partner companies we have. And I want to show the stats as well, placement this month. So I'm talking about, October, even though we're in November, just wanted to make sure that, we're the early of November. So we had 9 data engineers who got placed with a company called Tech Legions in the US. So they just came to India and they're creating a global GCC, which is the global capability centers, and 9 data engineers got placed. And we have something called Lumen Data. So 2 data engineers got placed and 1 data engineer from Cellstrat who is joining on Monday. So this is something which is our partnering organization. These are mostly even the freshers got placed inside it, and experienced and all right. So they have. I'm talking about now which came through us. There are other. I mean, only for 1 month. It's not about the entire year. Only 1 month, which is very good. Our batches size are generally at 20 level, not very high. So in that, if you say, 12 people got placed within 1 month, I mean, which is really a good use case for us to tell that we are able to deliver it. And it's not about us, it's all about the students who has done really well. Now, I wanted to bring to your attention one student testimonial that can actually help you to understand what we have done. So this one, just please take a look at and enjoy. And Jitish, I'm excited to share my transformative journey at the Academy of Canada. Enrolling in this program was one of the best decisions I have made for my career. The curriculum was meticulously designed and offering deep insights into data engineering that equipped me with practicals. I'm proud to announce that I have recently joined Intelligence as a data engineer. The supportive learning environment, coupled with the expected guidance from the faculty, made a huge impact on my professional. I want to express my sincere gratitude to Kumar and Venkat sir for their support and mentorship. Their knowledge and encouragement helps me navigate challenges and excel in my studies. If you're looking to advance in the field of data science and engineering, I wholeheartedly recommend that the Academy of Data is truly changed my life. Awesome. So thank you so much. So just wanted to bring it, not for advertisement sake, but listening from someone who got a job recently. I feel that that is always a good, and that actually definitely will help you as well. So that's the reason of it. Now coming back again, if you wanted to see more, we have a LinkedIn and all. You can actually go after us, and then we can see a lot of student testimonial who got placed as well, and we're happy to help you out. And then we talk about certifications. So this means a lot. See, the secret ingredient of getting placed, it's okay for us to openly tell, is all because of the student certifications as well. 2 batches back, we had a struggle, getting more interview calls for candidates. Then what we understood is the moment you can actually have a program which can actually help people to get certified, within 3 months. Ideally, if you actually do it like it'll happen like 6 to 8 months or 1 year actually. So how can we make sure that create a course that tailor-made, ready-made, and we have taken Databricks partnership for it. In fact, we are official University Alliance partners as well. So we worked with them closely and we felt, what are the things that, their companies, okay, their partner companies wanted. And we found that, the important certification, what they were talking about is Azure fundamentals from Microsoft, and then Lakehouse fundamentals. So Lakehouse fundamentals is a free certification course, which helps you to understand what is the Lakehouse concepts. And then you have Azure fundamentals as well. Now is it ended, and I see all 100% we have seen, everybody got completed. And the third one is data engineer associate. So this is the perfect one, which if you have the data engineer associate, it is something which helps you get placed very faster than any other certification. And Spark developer is an advanced one. I mean, only if you are at a 7 to 8 years of experience or above, you can actually let me know. I can actually suggest them, you can also go with it. It needs a different understanding as well. And we actually train at a level of Spark. But of course, we settle down even if you hire a data engineer associate, I'm pretty sure you'll get a super placement. So the highest number of the number of interview calls that happened is for a data engineer associate certified person who got 62 interview calls within 1 week. And of course, he's at a 4 to 6 years of experience is there. And of course, a 2 to 5 years experience is also one of the highest one where you get heavy calls thanks to the certification. Now, certification means that your resume will be picked by the HR, but that does not mean it will help your job because again, certification needs a lot of support to get it done. And we actually offer around 50% certification discount thanks to our service Databricks. Every quarter that gets released, and we have a program for it. We help you out how to do it, and everybody gets there's a $200 course which you get for $100 itself, and that's something which is really something which is very valued as well, which you save with us. And then we'll talk about the demo use case. I just wanted to bring to your attention something about demo, so that you'll also have an understanding of what we're doing. In the demo, we'll be talking about a bike sharing system. We know the traffic in Hyderabad and Bangalore are really high. I mean, of course, Hyderabad infrastructure is very new, good. Still, we are seeing always bottlenecks. If I have to go to old city, right, I always see that no, it takes hours and hours nowadays. So it's a very common thing, even if it is in Bangalore, if I actually go into MG Road, right, so or Outer Ring Road, Outer Ring Road in Hyderabad is around, I can go in 100 kilometers per hour, but if I see Outer Ring Road in Bangalore, it is just like 5 kilometers per hour. It's better to go on cycle. So, which means my use case is really good. I'm bringing a cycle use case. So, bike sharing systems are generally very important. If you have to solve the problem of people, using their own transport, especially cars. I mean, so you have to see the alternatives. Alternative is public transport, but for a shorter ranges and all, you don't have a public transport. And if customized routes, you don't have it. So only generalized routes, you have the offices. So in those areas, bike sharing systems are generally going to be helpful. In this, right? So it's a bike rental system where you have a mobile application and where you'll enroll as a member, and then you'll have a rental. Rental will be based on how much time you're using, and then the charges that can also be like GST and all will also be added, but it all be automatic use case. It's a kind of a prepaid model, or postpaid. Now after the charges can also be taken. Now, bikes are plugged with virtual sensors. So always, I think sensor is something where it actually beeps the information about the location all the time here, and that can be helped for sensing the mobility in the city. Now, I hope everybody knows, you are actually going in a Google route. You can always see Google Maps told that it is red. The moment why red comes is your sensor data is going actually to Google, telling that no, here there are around 120 cars, okay, in the same location, so you can make it red. So that's the same model which will be used in for bike sharing systems, where it actually understands what exactly where the users are, more users are, where there are less users, and who are using the bike more and at what time. All this information can be done, and what are the regions they're traveling across. So very good information of bike sharing system, which can also be used for urban planners as well to make valuable decisions. Let me bring to your attention what is the data set here. I'm talking about high level use case here, so don't go for lower level, which we'll do it, once you enroll to the training. And here you can actually see the field name and sample values here. So it's all about season, months, temperature, humidity, and wind speed. Why we require is because you're already having a sensor data, so it is also giving the temperature information as well. So which is very, very valuable for the company like, bike riding. So I'm hailing from a bike sharing company, and I wanted to decide how many bikes I have to plan for the next coming quarter. It all depends on the older data sets that are actually available. The real-time data is being captured, and then we plan for it. Let me see how it can be possible. Now we'll talk about the weather insights. I mean, which are the key performance indicators which I wanted to bring is the biking condition across season. So you have to calculate the maximum temperature, the maximum humidity, and the maximum wind speed for each of the seasons. And again, the average biking conditions, like, you can also do the average of the same and also extreme also. So it's just a small functional difference and all, but let's do the first one for us today. To do that, right? So we'll actually have to plan a small architecture, which I'm going to utilize it for us. One is you're going to extract the files, and you have to load the data to a table, because it's easy for you to understand SQL. That's why I'm doing it, because going for Spark won't work out. But at the extraction step, I'll be using little of Spark. Just don't worry about it. I'll just give you the details as well. And then we do a transformation and load it to the table. And after this, we're actually going to the analytics part. So this all being done using Python and Apache Spark in Databricks. Very simple. The first step is going to be creating your own compute. So this is a cluster which is going to be created. I'm not going into detail, but if you want to run a program, you need to have a virtual machine running, which is installed with Python and Apache Spark. So which is what is installed. So this is going to help us. I created this cluster, and this is going to help me to make sure that I can actually run my data set. Now we have data. So as I said, if you see the use case, we talked about having a data, so which is in a file. So this specific table of data is nothing but the columns, and we have file. And then we are going to utilize this only for this use case. So I'm going to read. So spark.read, think of there is a file. This code line is just used to extracting the bike riding dataset from a CSV file. When I say CSV, it is comma separated value file. And we're just taking the data and understanding, how the data looks like. And we are loading it in something called data frame. So when I say data frame, think of it like if we did not work on it at all, so think of it like it's a table. So we are actually having a table of structure in the main memory. We'll talk about more details as well in the future, but for sure understand this, that your table data which is in the file is now loaded into the memory so that we can do the processing faster. Now after that, we are displaying the data here if you see here. So once this is there, now you have to run it. How do you run it, right? So this is called Databricks notebook here. And you can actually see here this cell, and it was telling that you are going for step one, and this process there. So for this, you are creating notebook within Python. And because Apache Spark is implemented in Python, one of the API, so we're using that only. And the entirety of the course will be talking about Python and Apache Spark, because 70 to 80% of the time it is being used just like this. And then displaying the data set for our understanding is also important, and we are doing the display after we have read the data. Okay. Simplify, think that the code is only just to make sure that we read the data. And once the reading of the data happens, you want to display. See, you can see for a date, what is the season, year, month, weekday. And now you'll actually see the temperature and humidity, because this is what we are looking for. Okay. So this helps us to get some good valuable insights. Now, as per the architecture which I have defined here, I want to put the data into the table, because that's what now I'm meaning it. So this is a better way of learning, is creating an architecture and then go as per it. Now step three, loading the data into table bike share. We have done it. We have created a temporary table so that after we utilize it, it can be actually deleted automatically. Now the table is there. Now SQL is something which is very common. Why I went for SQL is so that it will become easy. Now the simple thing which we are talking about is on the top one is what I'm talking here is select season, max of temperature as maximum humidity, max of wind speed. So what are the max levels is what I'm going for it. And we're grouping based on season, and and also ordering based on season. So we wanted to make sure we get good insights of based on the seasons. There are 3 to 4 seasons generally which is there, right? So you have summer, you have winter and all. Based on season, what is the temperatures that you are observing based on the sensor data? Okay. Now we again created a table to store the transform results. So all the transform results will be in a table. And because we have created a SQL select query, okay, so which is actually with an aggregation queries, and which is giving the maximum temperature as a whole. And then if you can actually see here, we can also visualize it right now with the SQL queries. So the advantages of notebook is you can write Python, you can actually go for SQL, and that's the advantages which we actually use. So that's why it became very popular. And now we can actually also create a visualization as well. So which is actually telling us the maximum temperature, the maximum humidity, and maximum wind speed. So this is a perfect use case. And we have brought in the select star from max season from the tables which we created as per the architecture. And then you can actually see maximum temperature. Now, when you see the maximum temperature, so if you see a bikes and all, right, so where you don't have any cover on the on you, right? So if there's a maximum temperature, the less number of people will use the bikes. That's a common thing. So as a owner of the company, I'll also go for less number of bikes to be. But when is the wind speed low? And wind speed is also an important factor. If wind speed is very high, when I'm in my college, I go on my own bike, sorry, on own cycle. This is all like 15 years back. Now each of the college students is having a bike for sure. So, but now in those days, right, if the wind speed is very high, I used to take an auto. That's a very common scenario. And again, this wind speed and the temperature and humidity. Humidity can also be adjusted a bit, but again, the one thing is wind speed. Wind speeds. No, the wind speed is a little higher at this season and season one. And if you see the season three, I think so. Season three, it was the lowest. So the season three is somewhere where the temperature is high, but the wind speed is less. Even this is also an optimal place. But the most optimal is where there is less temperature. So which is actually a mix of it. Okay. So mix of it. If you can actually see generally the Q3, season three, season two, generally, wins over, in most of the cases. So this is the insights, management gets, and they take a decision of, how many bikes can be allotted or, can be actually procured at a place and, put there. So that's what it is going to be done. And that's what the theme, what I'm actually talking about. And again, I'll also go in the last on why should you take the training with us. I think this is very important as well. So we are official training partners with Databricks University. So all the resources of Databricks University will be at your disposal for this because of that. And again, so the Databricks certifications, we have 45 successful certified students. So in the past, so that is very rare. There are only few in the past, and we're able to, whoever got placed again on their own again. Many people are already working people. And our training is the most comprehensive data engineering course in the market. So even you can actually, and we're in a world of ChatGPT and LLM, and comprehensive courses are very rare in the market. And we are proud to tell that Prim Talent Tech Solutions, we are able to provide this as the first course, which is a mix of everything. It's an equivalent. If you are actually able to deliver these kind of certifications and training, you are an equivalent of at least, 5 to 6 years of experience if you do it thoroughly, or even at least 2 to 3. But you will be able to get a job for sure. And we have an integrated LMS system as well, so which I wanted to also share with you. So you'll be working with us very closely, 24 by 7. We'll be able to provide you with it. So you can actually clearly see us. Where we'll be talking about with all the students. We're talking about the discussion that we are actually having right on the classes. You can freely post it. We have discussion forums and the certifications. Who are done. Who are get jobs. We'll actually we'll also share here. So certifications, some people complete their certification successfully. So we help each and every one of them to achieve, what is a dream of coming to this course. And LMS system is a very good investment which you have done, so that will be available with you all the time. And certificate from Academy of Data, I mean, because this is something now which will be the branding name for us for the data engineering course. For that reason, Academy of Data will be used. And then for all the students who are going to deliver the project, now the guaranteed placement is something which we offer to this based on this criteria. 95% attendance, again, for health reasons we have there, you can just inform us and it's okay. And successful live project submission. And you complete the Databricks certification at Data Engineer Associate, the job is yours. Because one of the company called Lumen Data, I just want to go back here as well. So this company was clearly telling, you have a certified people, I'm ready to take it. Now that is very rare. I mean, who came across, and even this company called Tech Intelligence, they have a requirement of 12 data engineers in February of next year. So this training will take around 3 months for sure, 3 to 3.5 months, because it's an comprehensive course, and also it takes around 7 to and again, one more thing is 80 plus 80 to 90 hours of training is required for this, and we also have to work on certifications. But once you do it really well, you don't need to take any training anywhere. I mean, I'm pretty sure that with this kind of upskill, you can actually uh, really can actually go into the upskill market. I mean, you can do the upskill in the current companies which you are working upon. So, but this is the best course which I can actually think. Thinking of we have the placements is based on what exactly companies require for that reason. Okay, so that's all I have. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much. Awesome. Any questions, guys? Please feel free to ask any questions. Maybe I went on my own, so don't get panicked. If I'm going for too fast, you can stop me here. You wanted, I can do repetition as well, and we can help you as well. You can unmute yourself. Generally, everybody's on mute, but if you want, you can unmute yourself and you can talk.
Hello.
Yes, yes, please.
Yeah, this is Shivani. I have one question.
Yes, please, Shivani.
Uh, what if there is a career gap?
Oh, yeah. So, see, career gap, it depends from person to person in general when you're talking about career gaps. I
Okay.
mean, see, if it's a 1 year gap, 1.5 year gap, it should be okay in general. But it also depends on what you have worked in the past. Okay. See, generally, we have a lot of students who come, with the career gaps, and then we help them to get trained, and a training of extensively end to end only will work for I mean, this is well suited for them. At the same time, we'll also actually have to update their requirement, update their resumes, right? So the resumes telling that this is a skill they have worked. So that's what we have to generally do for you. But if you have a genuine reason for it, if the gap is only 1 to 2 years, it should not be a problem in general.
Okay.
Yeah, we can actually talk in detail in offline because not every person has the same problem. But for
Yeah.
us, as part of our placement companies which we are tied up with, I mean they don't have a problem if a person is certified. Yes.
Okay, sure.
Awesome. Any other question? Please feel free to ask. Okay.
So, will you be teaching these languages, Python and maybe SQL from scratch?
Yes, Rishabh. So we have a very good program. So in fact, what we are doing is, see, a lot of people know who come for this are, as I said, as a comprehensive course, it's more about getting from the basic to the advanced. So that's a very much primary model in which we are operating from a long time from Talent Tech Solutions. Always we are doing that. So even here, when a person wanted to upgrade, the one thing is Python is very important, a stepping stone. So we work on a basic learning. We start with everything like talk about data types, variables, and we talk about list dictionaries, and we just go based on step by step, and we give a lot of importance to basics actually. That's very much important for it, Rishabh, and we work upon it. And our courses are well defined. We have excellent materials. Maybe I can make sure that you can take a look at it. Since anyway we are on the call. So let me share with you a few things. If you see here in the workspaces which we are working upon, so we have a excellent material, especially so we use it for the same data engineering data science again. So you can actually see the way that we actually do it is data types, variables, functions, loops, exception, very detailed. If you just go for loops, it becomes so easy. And we also have, some very beautiful pictures. We have kept it in certain cases. And we give very simple use case like a breakfast kind of things to make it interesting as well. So all the best practices how a fresher can be trained are already there because if you see the demo of a person who actually got a job recently, he's a fresher actually, who got a data engineer role, and he's able to successfully do it without he don't have Python in his curriculum. He's able to do it. Now, if a fresher is able to do it, experienced people can easily do it. That's what I believe.
Yes, Kumar. Actually, some of peoples are from the non-technical background, means they never did the IT technical things. They don't have aware about. You saw me these things, exceptional and loop and all those things. They don't aware about these things. So in this code, if they will able to grab these things.
Right. So yeah, the question is very good. So we're talking about can a non-IT engineer, okay, or can an engineer know who is not worked on IT industry?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, can he actually be able to get the best out of the course? Yes. So we have a person now who is coming from M pharmacy. Okay, so at least you guys maybe in some background of some mathematics or something or science, but there's a person who is in mostly in the medical field. Okay, you can't medical
Mhm.
field is not just it's a medical science, a separate wing, and he's one person of whom we thought it will not work, but with the kind of course what we have started with, we thought we focused on how a non-IT person can actually come here, and he's able to successfully get a job. His name is Ashish, and
Mhm.
Sanjay sir has personally helped him actually, in fact, on many times. So it is not impossible, but again, it is possible by good dedication. See, for example, a person who is in the IT, he takes only maybe after 3 months, fourth month I can see a good result. Now, a person from non-IT will take one more month or 2 months extra based on how he's learning. So that's what is going to happen. And he took around 3 months, 4 months extra. I mean, to be frank,
Okay.
he took 4 months extra, but he did not go back. He just was pushing himself. He worked on certifications because when you're talking about having a non-IT background, you should have the certifications there. And the course anyway is having all the basic to the advanced. That's what we actually are providing, and they're able to successfully do it. And he had a salary of 7 lakhs, working as a manager for sales systems. Now he got, salary of 14 lakhs. He is one of our very good students, whom we have founded. And we felt that, anybody can actually do coding also. Anybody can actually do it. And one more thing is we are not having a very code intensive program. It's all about, the data modeling and the concepts. Those are very important and small syntaxes and the functions, and it's easy to be learned, and that model of that learning will make you sure that you can successful for anyone, even if it is a non-IT. So it's not a problem, but you need to have certification for that to get a job with non-IT.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Awesome. Any more questions? Please feel free to ask. No issues. You can ask any small questions you have. We are very happy to help you. uh, yeah, we have one question. Oh, so there's one question, that came from Sneha with respect to the fee structure. So you guys do one thing, please. My request was for all of you, please uh, provide your feedback here. Maybe I'll ask, someone, from the admission team from Talent Tech Solution to reach out to you. Request all of you to also give a demo feedback as well for me. I mean, how the demo went and you're able to get the best out of it or not. Please take 2 minutes for doing that. And then I still will stay back and we'll have more questions to be answered. Yeah, so I put it in the chat for all of you, please. Please go for the chat. Please provide your valuable feedback on it. So it's anonymous. I don't get to see anything anyway. So it's just the form. Please feel free to provide the feedback as well. Yeah.
Hello everyone. And
And one thing which I wanted to bring while you're actually doing this is we are working on LLM. So you're doing so ChatGPT is a popular LLM, where you can ask a question and all. Now, how can you create your own LLM is also something which is coming out of it. See, that's the best thing out of, the course that we are doing it. And the lab itself, will cost, 4,000 to 5,000 rupees per person, but it's okay. We got it discounted thanks to Databricks partnership and Microsoft partnership, what we have. So I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to learn so the best of even some pieces of data science as a data engineer. So that I wanted to bring to you, and that's the best thing that we are starting with this batch with the trials. And again, that's why no extra cost for it, just as part of data engineering. Okay. So the course fees and all, I'm technical person. You can ask anything technical and career oriented. You can actually, and again, once you like the course, we'll actually come back to make sure that, we'll actually talk about, where exactly you stand, what are the course structure you are looking for as well, and we can help you according to it. So request you to all of you, please provide the feedback. Please take your time. You can take 2 more minutes also. That's fine as well.